Hello, good evening, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Ma'am, Poonam.
Poonam.
Poonam Singh. Yes,
Poonam
ma'am.
Singh. Okay.
Yes,
Poonam,
ma'am.
tell me about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Ma'am, I am waiting for you long time. Ma'am, ma'am, my name is Poonam Singh. I am from Madhya Pradesh,
Mhm.
and recently I stay in Delhi. Yes, yes, ma'am. And my qualification, if can about my qualification, I have done my graduation in computers
Okay.
and from Madhya Pradesh.
Mhm.
Yes, and I am a homemaker, and recently I have joined Dancify India dance classes,
Which
and
dance classes?
my Dancify India dance classes.
Oh, Dancify. I have never heard about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. This is online dance classes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's all about me. And my hobbies are, ma'am, listening to music and dance. And recently, I add my hobby is learning English, and I want to become fluent English.
Okay. Are you
Yes, ma'am.
married?
Yes, ma'am. I am married.
Okay.
I
You have
have a
children?
son, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I have a one child.
You can say I have one child. I have a one. A means also one, and one means also
Yes,
one. So there is no need to put
yes.
a with one. Okay. So you have
Okay,
one
okay,
child.
okay.
How old is your son?
Yes, ma'am. He is a 9-year-old.
Okay. He is 9 years old.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is 9 years old. Yes, ma'am. Right.
And what does your husband do?
Ma'am, my husband is an engineer.
So you have recently started living in Delhi.
No, ma'am. We have living being after for the last 12 years.
Okay. You have been living in Delhi for last 12 years.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes.
So after marriage, you settled in Delhi. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My husband before marriage, my husband also have been living, but after marriage, I live with my husband.
Okay.
After marriage,
Your
I will
husband
live my
used to live in Delhi. You used to live in Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, yes, yes,
But
ma'am.
after marriage, you also moved to Delhi.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So your
Correct, ma'am.
husband was born and raised in Delhi.
No, ma'am. My husband born and brought up Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
My
He
husband
was
was.
also born and raised in Madhya Pradesh. Then he came
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Delhi.
Yes, ma'am.
And you came to Delhi after marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you liking Delhi?
Yes, ma'am. I like very much.
You like Delhi very
Yes,
much. More than Madhya
yes,
Pradesh?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There is some beautiful place, and Madhya Pradesh is also beautiful place. Matlab,
Okay.
actually same here, but Delhi is very posh area, ma'am.
Okay. You mean to say that you liked Madhya Pradesh also? That was also
Yes,
beautiful. And it also had some beautiful places. And now Delhi is also so beautiful. It has some beautiful places. And Delhi is a very posh
yes,
area. So you like both.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. You don't miss Madhya Pradesh while living in Delhi.
Yes, ma'am. Sometime I missed my Madhya Pradesh because here is no relative there. There is no relative in Delhi.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I missed my relative also.
So sometimes
Yes,
you
ma'am.
miss Madhya Pradesh because there are no relatives here. So you miss them all
Yes, yes. My husband's relatives are also
in Madhya
live in
Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
your relatives and your husband's side relatives, all of them are there in Madhya Pradesh.
Only friends, only new friends, ma'am.
So how many new friends have you made in Delhi?
Yes, ma'am.
So many of them?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Lot of friends.
Okay.
Friends, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So have you joined some kitty and all?
Sometime, ma'am.
Okay. Sometimes you do.
Sometime we get together.
Okay. Sometimes you do get togethers with friends.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, ma'am.
And how does your son pass his time? Because there are no cousins. So he also has a lot of friends.
Yes, ma'am. He's only 2-3 friends in my near home, and school friends are also very far
Okay.
by my home. So
Your son's school friends, they stay far off. There are only 2-3 friends nearby.
yes, ma'am.
So your son plays with them only.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, these school times he has not only enough time, ma'am, for play because the school time is also very late, ma'am. Three after 3 o'clock, ma'am. Afternoon, 3 o'clock, ma'am.
He
He
reaches home
came
at
back
3
to 3
o'clock.
o'clock. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you
And he
mean to
goes
say
to
after,
tuitions also.
okay, because of his school and tuitions, he gets very little time to play with his friends. So
Yes, ma'am.
you mean to say there is no problem that he has less friends because he already has less time for friends.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay. And you go to the PTMs. Do the teachers speak in English?
yes, ma'am. She also speak in English always, ma'am.
Okay. The teacher always speaks in English. And do you face problems in the PTMs?
Yes, ma'am. I face a lot of problem in PTM, but ma'am, I speak in Hindi. Say also she speak in Hindi.
Okay. So when
Yes,
you start speaking in Hindi, the teacher also starts speaking in Hindi, then there is no
Hindi.
problem.
Yes, ma'am. No
But
problem.
other,
But ma'am, sometime I realize, sometime I realize that I speak in English. I try to speak in English. That's why I learn English, ma'am. I want to learn English.
okay, sometimes you feel that you should speak in English in PTMs. And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
teacher speaks in Hindi because of you, but the parents of other children, they speak in English, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So how many people will, adjust for you? Most of them will speak in English. Only the teacher, adjusts that if the
Yes.
parent is speaking in Hindi, she also does that for you, but the other parents will
Yes.
not do that.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Some parents they speak in Hindi.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But
But
most of them
some
will
parents,
speak in English.
yes, yes,
Let's do a parent-teacher meeting conversation so that we can
yes,
address the
ma'am.
problems that you face in the PTMs.
Yes, ma'am. Sometime I realize ki, ma'am. Sometime I can understand, but sometime I did not understand. I could not understand, ma'am. Ki what she saying.
Okay.
Yes,
So when
ma'am.
you speak to other parents, sometimes you understand what they say, sometimes you don't get what they say. So
Yes,
actually,
ma'am.
you say yes, yes, but you have no idea what they said.
Yes, right, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, sometimes, ma'am, my problem is very, ma'am, when I thought in English and alone, I feel I correct sentence.
Okay.
I delivered correct sentence, but other in front of when I speak in others, then don't get my mind, don't get in my mind.
Okay.
सडनली व्हेन आई स्पीक इन इंग्लिश फिर मुझे रियलाइज होता है मैम कि मैंने ये गलत बोल दिया. आई
Okay.
आई रियलाइज. यस मैम.
Okay.
आई एम वेरी मैम मतलब आई एम वेरी मतलब घबराहट हो जाती है मैम.
Okay. So you
Yes.
get nervous. So
Yes, ma'am.
when you sit down and think about English sentences, then you feel like I made a correct sentence. But when it comes to speaking, when other people are in front of you and they speak a sentence, then you have to immediately think of a sentence. And when you speak, nothing comes to your mind and you realize later that you made a wrong sentence and you get
Yes,
nervous. You realize it later. But later on also, you understand that that was grammatically incorrect. At least you know
Yes.
that the sentence was wrong. Sometimes people speak a sentence, they don't even know that it was wrong or right. So it's very good that you later on you understand that that sentence was wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
ma'am, yes.
For removing that hesitation, you will have to speak a lot because
Ma'am, how to remove hesitation? Ma'am, because there is no member in my family speak in English because my husband is also went to the office and my child is also go to the school.
okay, your child goes to the school, your husband goes to the office. Do they both speak in English well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
They are at home in the evenings. Why don't you speak to them in English in the evenings?
मैम माय हस्बैंड मेरे हस्बैंड बोलते हैं बट मुझे डांट पड़ जाती है मैम. व्हेन आई टॉक इन करेक्ट सेंटेंस so my husband is
Okay.
scold me.
Okay. You mean
Yes,
to say
ma'am.
whenever you try to
So
speak English with your husband
scared, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
and you speak a single wrong sentence, he starts scolding you. So then you get scared and you start talking in Hindi. Does it happen?
Yes, ma'am. Right.
And what about
Yes.
your son? He cannot scold you. He is a child. You teach him so many things. He can teach
Yes.
you English. When you speak with him, you can understand what is wrong, what is right. Does he correct you?
Yes, ma'am. But he is also not a good speaker.
Being
But
a
it is
9-year-old, actually, even if he knows English well, a 9-year-old will not be able to correct your sentences.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
For removing hesitation, you will have to do a lot of English speaking practice. If that is not possible with your husband, then you will have to join some app, or you can talk to other YouTubers, or you can go to your neighborhood, or if you have a friend who is fluent in English, if she can help you or he can help you, any friend or relative. English speaking practice is the only thing that will remove your hesitation. Like when
My
you got
ma'am,
married,
my
yeah.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my friends also speak in Hindi. They,
Okay, all your friends speak in Hindi.
yes, ma'am. I don't have any one single friend
Okay.
which uh, which speak in Hindi, English.
Okay, you don't have a single friend who would speak in English. Okay, any
Yes,
relative, your
yes.
brother-in-law or your brother or your anyone, there is no one.
No, ma'am. Only my sister-in-law only. But she is also busy
Okay,
in office,
okay.
in her
So
office.
if you
Yes,
think that
ma'am.
there is only one person, that is your sister-in-law, she is also busy in her work. In that case, you
Yes.
should join some app if you want to fulfill your dream of speaking in English. Because if you don't speak, if you just keep reading, writing, and keep watching the conversations, it will really help you. But the end result is what? What is the end result? You want to speak. Your English speaking will be good only if you keep speaking with people. You should definitely register on some app where the tutors will, guide you and they
And
will correct your mistake.
which app, ma'am? Which app, ma'am?
I would suggest Acefluency app. They give you 20 minutes
Ace.
of audio call free every day.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, Ace Fluency.
Ace Fluency, ACE,
Ace Fluency.
yeah,
Okay. Ace.
FLUENCY, Ace Fluency. There you get 20 minutes of audio calls free of cost every day. But there you will be connected with the co-learners. Means you will be connected to someone. This person is also learning English. You are also learning English. You can talk to each other and practice English, but this person will not be able to correct your mistakes. And you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
correct
Yes,
his
correct.
mistake. That can give you a little practice. When you take their paid courses, then you can get connected to a tutor like me
Okay.
or on different apps. They will correct your sentences. They will guide you. So if you take a lot of sessions, like let's say 3 in a week, so if you take their course for a few months, you buy their paid
Ma'am,
courses, then you can be
you
very, very
also
fluent.
teach them?
What? I didn't get you.
You also teach them?
Actually, I used to take paid sessions myself
Yes, ma'am.
till
Okay.
August only. Actually, now I'm so busy on YouTube that I don't have any time left for paid sessions. So I only do for people who want to have one conversation with me, and I upload that conversation on YouTube. And this conversation then helps so many people who watch it. So these videos are very helpful for learners. But if you want to join a proper course, then you will have to register on some app. I can only give one conversation, and one conversation will not help you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Correct, ma'am.
Shall we do the
Ma'am,
PTM conversation?
you will give a minute.
Okay, let's say you have come to me. I am your son's class teacher. Okay.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What's your son's class teacher's name?
Ma'am, Sandhya. Sandhya, ma'am.
So I am Sandhya, ma'am, and you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
Poonam, right? So what is
Right.
your son's name?
Ma'am, my name is Arpan Singh.
Your son's name?
Yes, ma'am. Arpan Singh.
Arpan Singh.
ARPAN.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about Arpan now. Now you come to me, and now let's say you want to ask me something about Arpan. So how will you ask? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how is going on in the class?
Okay.
How
So
is
you mean to say how is Arpan doing in the class? Arpan कैसा चल रहा है class में?
How-
You want to say
yes,
this?
ma'am.
So for that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
should say how is Arpan doing?
How is Arpan doing?
How is Arpan
How is
doing?
Arpan
पता
doing
Arpan
in
कैसा
the
कर रहा
class?
है? Yeah, in the class.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Arpan
ma'am.
is doing good, but he talks too much in the class.
Yes, yes, sir.
He talks too much. He just keeps talking to his friend,
Yes, sir. That is same problem, ma'am. It's yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he so talkative at home also?
Yes, ma'am. With friends only. With friends only.
With friends.
Oh, yes. And ma'am, is he active in the class?
No, he is not much active. he just, sits like this. I don't know he has understood something or not. And whenever I ask a question, he never raises his hand. Ask him to be a little
Okay.
active in class and ask him to speak in the class.
Okay. Ma'am, is he understand in English?
Does he understand English?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
क्या
Does
वो
he
English
understand in
समझता है?
English?
Does he understand
Yes, sir.
English? Yeah, he understands a bit, but he doesn't speak in English. Does he speak in English at home?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sometime.
Okay,
Sometimes he speaks in English. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You should try to speak English with him so that his English is improved.
Yes, ma'am.
Why doesn't his father come to the PTMs?
मैम कभी कभी आते हैं मतलब
So you can say कभी-कभी आते हैं तो you can
sometime he comes
sometimes
in
he
the
comes.
PTM.
आप ये बोलिए कि आज वो आ नहीं पाए because he had उनकी कोई important meeting थी. Why didn't he come today?
Ma'am, he was an important meeting.
Today he couldn't come because he had an important meeting. He couldn't come today because he had an important meeting. हाँ.
He couldn't come today. He is an important meeting. He had an important meeting.
He couldn't come today because he had an important meeting.
He couldn't come today. He had an important meeting.
Yes. Will he be coming to the next PTM?
Yes, ma'am. When it possible, he will come.
You can say definitely. He will definitely come if it is possible. He will definitely come if it is possible.
He will definitely come if it possible.
If it is possible.
If it is possible. Yes, ma'am.
For how long does Arpan study at home?
Ma'am, 2-3 hours, ma'am. Only 1 and 2 hours, ma'am.
Okay, 1 to 2 hours. Okay.
He has no long time, ma'am.
Okay, he doesn't have much time. You mean to say he doesn't have much time?
He doesn't have much time. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because of tuitions and all.
Because he goes to tuitions and English classes also.
Okay. Exams are coming in 1 week.
Yes, ma'am.
How is he preparing? How is his preparation going on? Who is teaching him?
Ma'am, sometime I teach him. Sometime he teaches tuition classes. He takes tuition classes also. Yes, ma'am.
So you teach him and plus his tuition teacher teaches him.
Yes, ma'am. Tutor teacher. Yes.
So do you think he will clear the exams this time?
Yes, ma'am. Because ma'am, that time his exam is not lengthy syllabus.
Okay. In last unit test, he failed maths test. So do you think this time he will clear maths exam?
Yes, ma'am. Not, ma'am. This is clear, but I will practice very well.
You mean to say last time exam was lengthy?
Yes.
I will make sure that he studies well. I will make him practice maths very well. I am pretty sure that he will clear maths exam this time. I am sure that he will clear maths exam this time.
I am sure this clear maths exam this time.
I think you should keep some reward if he clears maths exam, Tell him that you will give him something. Yeah. You give him something when he clears maths exam. Tell him that you would be giving him some reward.
I don't know, ma'am.
The reward means आप उसको बोलो कि अगर maths exam pass कर लिया तो मैं ये चीज दूंगी. Yeah, that way maybe, he gets motivated.
Yes, ma'am.
So anything else that you would like to ask?
That's it, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, Arpan.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Tell me. Are prepared before going to the PTMs? You can speak in English. Just practice a little.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And when other parents speak to the teacher in English, then look at them and observe them and listen to the questions they are asking the teacher and how they are answering the teacher's questions. So that way also you can learn how to speak with the teacher.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, sometimes I scared, ma'am. Sometimes I got nervous. But because, ma'am, I feel कि I did not, I do not speak in English.
No, you will be able to speak in English. Your hesitation and nervousness will go away.
Daily, I have watched many videos. Lot of videos and reading books and जैसे ma'am like children cartoon videos, ma'am, in English.
That is very
Lots
good.
of videos.
All these things are very, very helpful. But if you don't speak with people every day, See,
Yes, ma'am. But
it's like learning swimming, staying outside the swimming pool and say that, yeah, I have cleared swimming test. I know everything, but I will not jump in the water. So I want to clear swimming test in theory. So it's like that. So in theory, you have got 100 out of 100. But if you don't jump in the water, you can never learn swimming. So it's like that. So all these things are very important: reading, writing, and listening and watching the conversations and English videos. But the most important step is speaking English. So like today, you are speaking with me. You are hesitating. You are nervous.
yes,
If you face
yes,
this nervousness again and again, every day, just imagine. Then one day you would be saying, oh, today I have a conversation at 3 o'clock. I am not scared. I am not nervous. That will happen with you. It
yes,
happens
ma'am.
with everybody. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
when a lady gets married and she comes to the new family and her in-laws, they ask her to make halwa. Most of the people, they say that, no? So
Yes,
when
ma'am.
she makes halwa for the first time in front of her mother-in-law, she gets so nervous because she thinks
Yes,
that what she will think, what she will say. Even if she knows well, she thinks that must be a great cook. I don't know clearly. When she makes the same halwa 50 times, let's say, then she becomes
yes,
too
ma'am. Right.
confident. Whoever is standing in front of her, she will not get nervous. If you speak to 100 people, your nervousness will completely go away. I'm telling you. You make a diary and then note down one, this, two, this. When you will be talking to a person in English for the 100th time, your nervousness will go away. How many times have
Yes,
you talked to other people in English?
ma'am. When I speak in English, I forgot all grammar's rule.
No, I'm saying how
I
many times have you talked to strangers in English?
How many times? No, ma'am. I am not talking.
So I am the first one with whom you are talking in English.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. This is
I
my
am
first conversation video.
okay. This is your first conversation
Yes,
video where you are
yes,
talking
ma'am.
in English on a video call, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
When you will reach your 100th video call in English, mark my words, when it will be the 100th video in English, you will be a very, very fluent English speaker. It happens with everyone. So you will need to practice.
Yes.
You have only been just listening, reading, writing, and watching the conversations. So you have to talk more.
Yes, ma'am. My husband is also said. My husband is also says, ma'am.
He also says the
Speak in
same thing.
English. Speak in English.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All sentences says he says make small sentences and
Okay.
speak in English.
He keeps asking you to speak English, but when you try to speak in English, he scolds you if it is a wrong sentence. So tell him
Yes, ma'am.
that please don't scold me, encourage me instead of scolding me,
Yes, ma'am.
so that he can help you at least a little bit.
Yes,
Definitely
ma'am.
join the app. You can get 10% off on the paid courses of Acefluency. If you download it using my code, you will get the code in description of this video. Then use my code to buy a paid course. Then you will get 10% off.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Only conversation video. App only conversation videos.
This link will be there only in the descriptions of the conversation videos. Okay.
Okay.
So you just
Okay, ma'am.
open the description, click the link, use my code, and buy the course. So many of my students are using this app and they are, improving their English.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you are teaching also?
Earlier, I used to teach. Now I only do YouTube. So now there is no time left. That is why I don't teach anymore.
Yes, so you are the best teacher, ma'am, because I have watched lot of videos.
Okay.
I like very much your videos, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
So what
ma'am.
did you like in my
And
videos?
inspire to me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I inspired you.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you like in my videos?
Ma'am, because when they people incorrect sentence speak incorrect sentence, so you correct them. So I
that
like
is
very much.
What you like. Okay. So that's great.
Or-
You don't worry about your grammar mistakes. If you keep speaking, keep reading, keep writing, keep watching the conversation, grammar mistakes will definitely go away. You don't need to worry about them. You just worry about one thing, that you have to speak to lots of people and you try to speak with someone every day. Just worry about that one thing. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Good luck, Poonam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And बहुत अच्छा लगा, ma'am. I talked to with you.
I also felt so good. आपसे
Ma'am,
बात करके बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे भी.
ma'am, I am waiting for long time.
Okay, so you had been waiting for a long time. Since when?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, I have sent message. I sent the message before 1 month ago.
Okay.
1 month ago, ma'am.
Okay, you sent
Yes,
your
ma'am.
first message 1 month ago. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You replied, ma'am. I am very happy. Wow, ma'am is replied, ma'am. Wow.
Okay.
फटाफट मैंने अपने बेटे को बोला मुझे टैब दे दो. प्लीज गिव मी टैब.
Okay. I try to
Yes,
reply
sir.
to everyone. Sometimes I get busy with, other things. So it takes
Yes.
time. But I try to reply to each and every person. I will not leave anyone.
I checked every day
You
your
what,
reply
every day?
or not reply.
Okay, you checked every
Ma'am,
day. Okay.
yes, ma'am. I checked
Okay.
every day you reply or not, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
You will be fluent. Keep working at it. And as I said, try to speak with someone in English every single day. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye. Take care.
Okay. Bye bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Same to you, ma'am.
Welcome.